Oh man, I forgot how heavy this thing was. That is absolutely disgusting. Oh my God. So this is what it looks like when you don't clean your PC in almost 2 years. This August, it will be officially 2 years since I have built Big Red version 4. That is the longest I have gone without upgrading my PC. I'm actually kind of proud of myself. As most of you guys know, I love spending time in my spool, but cleaning it can be a real chore. My old dolphin cleaner just wasn't cutting it. It was heavy, had this annoying cord that always got tangled, and it missed spots. It was driving me insane. So I decided to upgrade and got the BeatBot AquaSense, and let me tell you guys, this is a game changer. It's not only cheaper, but also more powerful, with advanced sensors and computing power 450 times greater than similar flagship products. One huge perk is that you can control it, access cleaning records, and get updates right from the app on your smartphone. When you're ready to start, just go into the app, choose your preferred cleaning mode, yeet the bad boy into the water, and let it do its thing. It will first map your pool, and then start cleaning the floor, then the walls, and then the water line. Every inch gets covered, leaving your pool spotless. As soon as it's done, it returns and parks at the water line, making it very easy to pull out. No hassle, no cables, I love it. The maintenance is also a breeze. The filter can be easily cleaned, and if you need to charge it, you just drop it on the charging dock. If you're a pool owner like me and you want to invest into effortless cleaning, check out the BeatBot AquaSense by clicking my link down below. Oh Jesus, there's so much dust. Oh my God, it looks like there's some green stuff forming inside of my water blocks, tubes, and the dish drawer plates. I think there's some microorganisms that made themselves right at home inside of my PC over the past 2 years. That's crazy. The fact that this PC was still running for almost 2 years without having to do any type of cleaning or even like getting the dirt off the fans is quite impressive, I gotta say. The tenacity of Big Red version 4 is impressive. You know, now that I'm looking at the PC up close, it makes sense why it's been experiencing blue screen of deaths twice a week now, because the components are hardly getting any air. I feel like the CPU is choking right now. It also makes sense why the CPU is running at 100 degrees Celsius constantly, even on idle. So yeah, we have found the culprit. So let's go ahead and take this apart, do some nice deep cleaning before we start building Big Red version 5. This used to be solid white color, by the way, that I used from EK. Now it's clear, transparent liquid with a bit of a yellow tint to it. Oh my God, what the hell happened to this cable? Oh my God, did coolant leak on it and I wasn't aware? There's no way this would turn yellow like that. Oh my God, I think this top fitting over here leaked onto my, oh my God, I'm surprised it didn't fry my GPU. That's crazy. Maybe that's what was causing the blue screen of death a few times a week. No, I mean, the temps are really high, that's for sure. Maybe it was both, a combination of both, I have no idea, but I am lucky this GPU survived. That's crazy. What? See, if I did maintenance on the PC every 6 months or so, I probably would have caught this early and fixed the tube run or replaced the fitting or something, but that's crazy after 2 years. Well, either way, this is getting replaced, so I'm not too worried about it now. dead bug in there? There's a little bug that died next to the CPU. How tragic. All right, good as new. Oh my God, another bug? Dude, where are all these bugs coming from? This is bug number 2. Let's get a bug counter somewhere on the screen. That is crazy. I guess they really like Big Red version 4. All right, let's assess the damage, starting with the pump. This is the one where I noticed there was quite a bit of green stuff inside. Oh yeah, there it is. I want to say this is algae. I could be wrong, but I think there's some algae growth going on here. Luckily, this is an easy fix. You can just wipe it dry with a paper towel and clean it with some soapy water and a toothbrush. So I'm not too concerned about this. We can also clean the inside with a paper towel as well. Luckily, this comes off very easily. Look at that. Good as new. All right, now let's take a look at the radiator and the fans, which are probably the dirtiest in the entire loop, if I'm being honest. Here we go, let's take a look under the fans. Oh, that is filthy. If this isn't a reminder for you guys to clean your PC after every 6 months, I don't know what is, okay? Don't be a lazy idiot like myself, okay? Clean your PC every 6 months, or at least dust it every 6 months. And if you have a custom water-cooled build, make sure you're draining your system and filling it with new distilled water or coolant every 6 months. That is the recommendation. But anyways, let's go and take this outside and clean it real quick, because I do want to sell the remains of Big Red version 4 to a subscriber. I'll post it on my Discord server. So I gotta make sure that all the parts are squeaky clean before I sell it off. Okay, we officially have Big Red version 4 fully gutted and laid out on the floor. The only thing we're gonna carry over to Big Red version 5 are both of the pumps for the case and the case itself, obviously. I still haven't been able to find a better case than I'm using, which fits perfectly with my setup and has symmetry and all that. So we're gonna be sticking to the same case, but everything else we're getting rid of, and we're gonna be going with brand new parts for Big Red version 5. With that said, I will be selling the remains of Big Red version 4 on my Discord server in the for sale section. So if anyone wants to carry over the legacy, hit me up on Discord if you want to purchase the parts. I'll throw in the water cooling gear for free, and the rest of the components I will sell for dirt cheap if anyone is interested. Oh, and also I'm carrying over all 3 of my drives. Obviously, I got my operating system on one of them, and I got a bunch of important files on the other 2 8 terabyte M.2 SSDs. So other than that, and the drives, everything else is gonna be brand new for Big Red version 5. I know a lot of you guys will be asking the price of the entire system, so here it is. At the time making this video, the PC will cost a little over $9,200. Now, some parts are out of stock, like the SSDs, which do cost about $1,200 each. I know how ridiculous that sounds, especially when you realize that one of these costs as much as a nice 1440p gaming PC. But sadly, that's how much the Rocket Qs are going for. I also didn't include a few smaller pieces of components like the remote power switch, and I didn't include a CD key because I'll be transferring over the drive from Big Red version 4. Speaking of which, if you guys are building a PC or need a new Windows key, do not pay full price from Microsoft. Instead, you can get one dirt cheap from VIP or CDKey.com. They do sell Windows 10 Pro keys as well as Windows 11, and if you put in the code TS20, you will get a nice discount, dropping the price further. After checking out, just click on the user center and it will take you to this page where you can view all of your purchased keys, and then all you have to do is reveal the key and copy and paste this into the activation settings of Windows, and you're good to go. All right guys, we finally got all the parts for Big Red version 5. I've been waiting for this day for almost 2 years now. I'm freaking excited. Let's begin building the beast. To keep the tradition alive and well, we are sticking to the Maximus board, just like Big Red version 4. However, this is the refresh version that supports 14th gen processors out of the box without having to do a BIOS flash. So we're gonna be going with the Maximus Z790 formula yet again. This is also the best looking white motherboard for a water-cooled build. Name a better board in the comment section. I'll wait. This is the second time I'm actually taking it out of the box. The first time was in the last unboxing video, but now that I actually have Big Red version 4 gutted out, let me bring the other board side by side just to see what the differences are. So it looks like they're nearly identical with some changes in the design on the bottom portion over here with the chipset cover, and also over here on the top left IO cover. They got rid of the tiny diamonds and they added a pretty cool sci-fi ROG logo, it seems. And in terms of connectivity, it looks like we have the same amount of ports back here with the addition of Wi-Fi 7 instead of Wi-Fi 6E. So definitely a nice upgrade in terms of Wi-Fi. The CPU we're going with is from Intel, obviously, because we're on the Z790 platform. Also, I've been very happy with Intel in the past few years. It doesn't make sense to jump ship to AMD. I've always put Intel in my personal rig ever since the original Big Red PC. But we're going to be putting in the best that Intel has to offer, which is currently the i9-14900KS processor. I've waited just long enough until they released the KS version, so I'm happy about that. There's not a huge difference between the KS model and the non-KS model. I mean, you do get slightly faster clock speeds, but you know, we're doing a water-cooled build, so this gives me the chance of doing some heavy overclocking on the CPU, so we can squeeze as much performance as we can out of it. If I was doing a non-water-cooled build, I probably would just go with the regular K version, but you know, if I can put in the best of the best, why not? So I'm gonna remove the stock retention bracket on the motherboard so we can install our very own contact frame so we can improve the temps even more. I've been adding these on all the recent builds lately and it has been night and day in terms of temperatures. For storage, I'm not doing anything too crazy. I'm just gonna transfer over the storage from Big Red version 4. I still have my 8TB M.2 drives from Sabrent, one of which hasn't even been used, guys. It's been 0 since I installed Big Red version 4. And the other one, I think I only have like 2TB worth of like hentai on there. And then this one was a 4TB drive that had my operating system on here. So I'm just gonna swap this and put the operating system on one of these 8TB drives from Sabrent. So I'll be using the brand new 2024 version of the precision screwdriver bit that I've been talking about a lot lately on the channel. But what's funny is that I was checking the reviews of this on Amazon, and there's this guy named Dan who left a 1-star review because the poor soul couldn't figure out how to open the damn screwdriver kit. There's literally an image right on the listing that shows you have to flip the screwdriver kit upside down and then press the button to open it. Man's got an IQ of a clownfish, apparently. But for everyone else that did purchase one of these in the past few months using my link below, thank you guys so much for your support. You are directly helping out the channel with that. And if you do have like a minute to spare, it would be awesome if you can go back on Amazon and leave an honest review. If you guys think this is a 1, leave a 1-star review. That'll be completely fine. But if you guys think it's awesome, you know, consider dropping like a 3, 4, or even a 5-star review. Another question I get constantly asked is, Ed, why don't you just change the name of your PC? Why do you still call it Big Red when there's no red left in the system? And the short answer is, I can't change the name of a legendary PC just because I changed the color scheme or I changed my mind on the color scheme. There's just so much history involved, there's so much lore, and it's a tradition at this point. So it's gonna be called Big Red version 5 and version 6 and so on, regardless of what the color scheme is gonna be. We're keeping it very modest with a 96GB kit from G.Skill. This is a brand new Trident Z5 RGB in white. And we are going with a memory speed of 6400 megahertz and CL timing of 32, which is really fast. As I mentioned before, I'm no longer going with 4 sticks in my builds because of system instability issues. Even with my current build, it had issues enabling XMP and achieving its max frequency on the memory stick. So it's better to go with 2 and get the highest possible overclock than going with 4 and having to force downclock. So it just doesn't make any sense. At least this way I can get a very high capacity, like 96 gigs, which I know I'm not gonna ever use in my life, but also I can get some really fast speeds at the same time. So it's really a win-win situation for me. I mean, the only downside, you do have 2 empty DIMM slots, but who the hell cares anymore, right? Oh yeah, baby. Looking really good so far. I cannot wait to harness the power of this new PC. We're getting there, baby. We are getting there. So for the water block, I did decide to go with the Bixkey block instead of the Corsair, just because I do prefer the more minimal look. And also I didn't want to add an extra RGB controller if I went with the Corsair one. So I want to keep it as less cables as possible with Big Red version 5. So I'm not going to add any thermal paste on there right now, just because I haven't decided on what orientation I'm going to put the block in. That will determine on the rest of the parts essentially and how I want to do my tube runs. So for now, I'm just going to leave it right side up and just screw it in place for now. Damn, I'm just getting so freaking excited every minute I work on this PC. But yeah, motherboard's hooked up on the case. I feel like this is the best time to do the radiators and then the fans and kind of just work our way inwards from the outside. So we'll be going with dual 360mm radiators just like before. Obviously I have to get them in white, but I've never actually seen something like this. This is from Primo Chill, and this is the Sky White model, but it's got an acrylic top and bottom piece. So it's transparent and you can see the coolant going through the ports, which I think is going to be really cool. So we'll be mounting one over here on the right and then one on the left. I do wish the fins were in white, but I can't complain. I can't complain, especially since Primo Chill was so kind enough to supply all the water cooling parts for Big Red version 5. So thank you guys so much. And then for the fans, ladies and gents, we're gonna be popping in 6 of the brand new Lian Li LCD fans, okay? Because why not? Okay, we gotta maintain the reputation of Big Red, which is always go big or go home. We gotta throw in the best there is, and honestly, this is the best right now from Lian Li. So we're gonna pop in 3 120mm fans on each radiator. It is gonna look so freaking majestic once it's done. Okay, we have a bit of an issue with the radiator mounting, unfortunately. So we are using the Unifans from Lian Li, which means we can attach all 3 and just only have 1 cable coming out from the bottom. Well, we have 3 cutouts on each side, which is supposed to be used to route through the cable of each fan on the radiator. The right side is fine. Like I can route this cable towards the bottom and keep it hidden pretty good. You're not gonna be able to see it once the rest of the parts are on here. But the issue with this one is if I mount the radiator the same exact way, I'm gonna have to run the cable towards the top and then out this cutout. And that's gonna look fugly. I don't even know if that's gonna work, to be honest. So this much of the cable is gonna be visible, which is absolutely hideous. So I'm thinking we can take this to the back and use my table saw and just cut a slit right over here to make the cable management a lot cleaner. All right, ladies and gents, we are making some pretty good progress so far. I do want to pop in the power supply next. I did make the jump to 1200 watts coming from 850 watts. I know this is a bit overkill. 1000 watts is really all we need for this system, but I do want to future-proof it because I plan on upgrading to the 5090, potentially a 5090 Ti if one exists later this year. So might as well go with something a little higher. All right, ladies and gents, we are nearing the finale of part 1. It is time to pop in the big boy. This has laid dormant inside my closet since its launch. I think I only used this in one build previously on the channel, but it is time to finally put it to work. I'm not gonna put the water block on it just yet. I wanna hook it up to the PC and turn it on and make sure the entire system works before I start taking stuff apart and working on my tube run. So with that said, let's pop in this bad boy. All right, guys, everything is hooked up. Now let's go ahead and power it on and see if it works. Obviously, we have no water going through the CPU block, so we gotta make this as quick as possible so the CPU doesn't overheat. We're just looking for any type of display, and we gotta make sure all fans are spinning. So here we go. That's not good. Why aren't these fans spinning? Oh, no way, come on. What? Okay, well, that's not good. Can we get display? Please? Maybe I'll try a different port on the fans. Still nothing. It's just not looking good. We're getting nothing. Message display. I'm getting an interesting code. Message display. I've never seen that before. What does that mean? What do the numbers mean, Mason? Message display, I don't know. I'm just gonna turn it off for now before my CPU explodes. The fans aren't working. That's not great. And then we're not getting any display. This is fantastic. Let me look up this code and I'll be right back.
A few minutes later.
Okay, so I figured out the fan problem. I plugged the cable in from the wrong hole, which is unfortunate because I'm normally good with finding the holes. But the only other issue left is that error on the motherboard, which doesn't exist. I don't know what check display means. It doesn't show up anywhere on Google. Maybe we'll get a code over here and we can look that up instead. It's going through a bunch of different codes right now. I don't know if my CPU is gonna make it. Message display. We're getting a code 98 on the top here, so let me look at what 98 means and I'll be right back.
1 hour later.
Okay, so apparently code 98 means there's an issue with input, meaning keyboard and mouse. So I swapped the USB dongles to another USB port. So let's try this a third time. I don't know if that's normal or what. Okay, I think the CPU overheated. I'm gonna have to put a stock cooler on there until I figure out this situation.
And so, Edward proceeded to do a series of troubleshooting tests to find out what was happening with Big Red. At first, he tried plugging the GPU directly into the motherboard, but that didn't help. Then, he tried plugging the USB cables directly into the motherboard. Still, nothing. He thought maybe using just one stick of RAM can solve the issue, but it was useless. Maybe swapping the GPU? Nope, nothing. Well, let's try flashing the BIOS to see what that can. Nah, that ain't doing it, Chief. Well, then it's the CPU. If he replaces it for another one, no. Nothing was working.
I cannot wait to harness the power of this new PC.
Big Red was not responding.
My poor baby is in shambles, ladies and gents. We have hit a dead end. BigRedV5 does not work, unfortunately, and I've narrowed it down to the motherboard. Every single component is working fine. I've tried a different CPU, I've tried a different graphics card, I even tried a different set of cables. It all points to the motherboard. It all leads to the motherboard and these very strange codes. Message display and Q98 error code, which has something to do with USB input. I've looked it up. That's why I'm actually plugging in the back of the motherboard with a USB 3 cable, because sometimes with the dongles it might have issues, but even that doesn't solve the issue. So I don't know what else it could be. I've cleared the CMOS, I've updated the BIOS. I thought maybe the motherboards didn't support the new KS processor, but that wasn't it, unfortunately. Yeah, I hate ending the video like this. I was hoping the system would work so I can come in tomorrow and do the tube runs and install the water block and stuff, but I physically cannot continue. I'm disappointed mostly. I had such an awesome momentum built up with excitement. I was hoping to finish this by the weekend, but unfortunately, I've hit a wall and there's nothing I can do. I'm gonna go on record and officially say that this has been my first dead ROG motherboard in a long time. I don't remember when was the last time I got a DOA component from ASUS, which is interesting with all the ASUS situation that's going on here, but what timing, goddamn, what timing indeed. But anyways, I reached out to ASUS, they apologized and they started an RMA request, so I'm gonna send this board back and they're going to send a brand new one sometime next week. Hopefully I get it sometime next week so I can finish it before the next weekend. But yeah, unfortunately I have to end it like this. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe for part 2 coming very soon, and I'll see you guys in the next one.